So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick run through of how to set up a MailChimp account. I've been using MailChimp for 3 years now, I think. I really like it because, and again, another one of those things, they don't pay me to say any of this. I like it because all of the contacts are in one spot. It's easy to find. It's easy to just bulk send out a campaign, create a template, all the things, and just get an email out and be consistent with your customers. Marketing and email is super important because, again, if you're not in front of your customer, in front of your client, they're not going to remember. I don't remember things. I don't even remember what I had for dinner last night. So unless you're in front of them consistently, they're not going to remember that you're the go-to for whatever product or service that you have. So there is that. So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And let's put this down here so you can see what I'm doing. And let's see here. Okay, so, and they do have a free version. Free is good. It does have caps on it though, and I'll explain that. I'll also go through, they have some other really super cool things in there that you can do as far as features, like you can actually create a whole website off of MailChimp's platform. I did it and I was actually really impressed considering I'm picky. So you're gonna put in your email address, and then you're going to put in a username. You can put in a regular username, or you can just keep it as your email address, and password, of course. And you can check whether or not you want to receive emails about MailChimp and other products. They are owned by Intuit. And sign up. And we're thinking. They're going to send you an email to confirm that you are who you say you are. Activate. Now, one of the things about MailChimp that I love and that I utilize is connecting them to the back end of a website. So since I use Shopify quite a bit, there's other platforms that they sync in the back end. So your website, whoever visits, will get automatically synced into MailChimp if you have those two connected. And I'll show you how to do that later, not on this video. But as you can see, there's several options. There's a free version. It does have a maximum content of 500 contacts max for the free version. And it has limited options as far as different things that are options available on that platform for the free version, and 2,500 email sends. So that means that of those 500, you can send out 2,500 emails. So this would not give you the capability to send your 500 contacts an email every day. That would be a paid version that you'd want to do that. But for now, we're going to do the free version. So we are putting info in here, name, and that's optional for your phone number. You're going to put in your address here. I have not had my dinner yet, and I'm hungry. So, street address. It's always best to put your business address in. For this, you can use a personal if that's all you have, but just know like some of this information is available to see when you're sending out emails because of privacy laws. So it's better to have, you know, a business address, even if it's a PO box, that's better. So what's your top goal with MailChimp? We want conversions. You know, if you have something like you're blogging, then, you know, definitely pick something else. Growing your list of email subscribers, that's always important. And then you can even just say, hey, I'm just playing around. I just want to check it out, see if I like it. So I go with making conversions and making money. What do you want to explore first? So this is something that wasn't on back in the day when I first started my first account, but it's giving you options of different things that you can do here. So there's emailing, MailChimp, emails, automations. So they have this, I discovered this a couple of weeks ago when I was playing around with some things. You can set up an automation sync. So if someone comes and visits or selects a specific topic of an option that they're choosing for something on your website. Let's say you're a photographer and you have wedding or graduation options for your customers. So you can actually send all the wedding people into one realm of email communication that would be different from what you would be for graduation. So I love that. It's super cool that they've added this feature on. They also have sign-up forms. So if you are trying to gather data about potential clients or existing clients, there's also forms in there that are also super fun. So I'll go over that later in a separate one as well, because it's just about setup. So we'll go with email. And again, you can actually skip this if you wanted to, but I just wanted to go over that so you can see all the options that MailChimp does have and other reasons why I kind of really like it, because they've got a lot here. I'm going to say 500 or fewer because that's what we put on. Again, this is an option to skip. So we're going to skip through here. Putting in your website is super helpful. Let me see here. Wrong tab. We're going to skip this for now. We're going to just skip through that. So let's go. Okay, so you have an account set up now, right? This is all the goodness. So they've got options here is send an email, start an automation, which is just the sequence of emails going to specific people, create a website. One of the important things to do if you already have existing clients, existing emails, is you're going to want to come in here and add them. So you go over here to the left side where it says audience, and then you're going to add contacts. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and go over that separately as well, but just so you have the basics and you know the gist of it, you're going to be uploading it from a CSV. You can import from another service. However, when I've done that prior, it's been a little bit glitchy. Just on communicating everything over and making sure it all connects. I just like to do it the old-fashioned way and upload a file, which is here. And then what you want to do is there's a way to import them that is, you need to have certain columns in the field that you're importing so that it formats them properly in MailChimp. So I'll go ahead and go over that as well separately. But I do want to go over some of the other basics before we get to all that goodness and fun stuff. Things about setup that are super important is going into your profile. Sorry, I'm skipping around a little bit quickly because I do this all the time. So you're going to go down here to the bottom left. I selected profile here, and you can upload a photo. It's preferably to do your logo, and just so that when someone gets your email and you have that little circle that's on the left side, they'll see your logo and associate you with this email so that it doesn't get lost or they don't just dump it, or they hopefully they're like, oh yeah, I remember that brand, I remember that service, I really want to check them out. So that's important. And in this section also, if you need to change first and last name, and here's where you would add in your website later on if you need to update the password. Underneath the settings and details, here's where you can specify your time zone, which is super helpful because let's say you're planning on sending out an email because you're debuting a new product or service Monday morning, and it's set for a different time zone, like this one right here defaulted to New York for some reason. trying to scroll through here and find the right one. The other one was grayed out. But anyway, it would be helpful and pertinent, because if you're saying you're dropping a new release or a new product or something at 9 o'clock Monday morning, and this is set to a different time zone, and you're expecting the email to drop at 8 o'clock or at 9 o'clock, and you're not in the correct time zone here, it's going to be dropping at New York time. So you might be thinking like, oh my goodness, you know, it was wrong or whatever, and it's actually just here in your settings that it's not updated. So for some reason, it's not letting me select specific at the moment. So we'll come back to that, but now you know where it's at. You can change here the time date format, currency format, what day you're starting your default week. This is where you also can update what emails you're getting from MailChimp. So that was under settings and details. So users, in here, you can add in other people with an upgraded account. You can have other people as users, so that, say this is your account and you have an employee, or you have a helper, you have your brother, your son, going in and creating campaigns for you. You can add them as a user. That is not available with the free version. There's security options in here. MailChimp is very much a stickler about their security. They will have, you want to put in a phone number for the backup number so that they text you. If you're in a different browser, if you're on a different computer, it will ask you to identify yourself. And mainly that's because email addresses are a form of confidentiality, and they don't want just random people signing in and stealing the data and things like that. So you'll get this two-factor authentication pop up a lot, but it is for security reasons. If you ever need to pause or delete your account, that's also here in your settings. Billing is, of course, where you would put your card information or change, you know, how you have card info in there. Extras, this is a little deep into the system. I'll skip over this for now, but we'll come back to that later on in a different video. Integrations. So I'm going to click into this super quick so you have a gist. So the integrations here have greatly varied from, again, you know, dinosaur age when I connected originally. But there's options that you can connect to e-commerce stores. As you see, Shopify, there's WooCommerce, Big Cartel, integrations with Facebook and Google. I haven't tested these out. I don't know if I will. We'll kind of play it by ear. You can connect it to your website. Here, there's website builders on the back end, and just all sorts of fun stuff. So the integrations is really where you would connect. So here's your website or your other platform. Here's MailChimp. And the integration makes sure that everything from this side goes to MailChimp and syncs, so that you're not doing data entry to take everything here manually and put it in here. So it's kind of like once you plug it together and it's set to play, you don't have to talk, they communicate with each other. So that's one of the parts that I love. All right, let's see here. Profile, we are here for profile. We were already in that spot. What was the other section I wanted to go into? Okay, so let's go under, let me just show you a quick look around, because this one is not supposed to be a super extensive video on this. You wind up being your first audience and your first subscriber. So campaigns here, I'm going to just pop into this so you can take a quick see. When you have your audience uploaded and they're synced and everything's good and pretty, you're going to go to create a campaign to set up an email. You can go to the left side here and see what's coming up. You're going to do regular for the most part, but you're going to pop in a name here, test your email. And each time you create an email campaign, you get to name it something different so you can track it. Okay, so creating an email. You're going to add a recipient. There's no context yet, so there's not much here to do. You'd go in and add from, and there's a section here that I'm looking for that I do not see. I will come back into this. So you're going to put in a name and have an email address here. You're going to save. You want to put in a subject line. Great new product. Period in here. Ouch. Save this. Design an email. So there's a new beta builder. We're going to go with Classic Builder for now. And select that. Now there's templates in here that you can create. From the templates, there's templates like once you go into one, that gives you quite a few options here, but once you go into one, you can actually save it as a template with your logo on the top so that you can come back into it and just kind of reuse it over and over again so that you're not, every time you're creating an email, you're not putting in a new logo. You can if you want, but if you have a logo that you're set with, you know, it'll be built in as a default and you don't have to add it in all the time, as well as, you know, other data at the bottom like contact data and things like that. So I'll go ahead and go over that in detail later as well. What we're going to do here is I will show you some of the sections and then I will pop out. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump back in here. All right. So from the, also, so you know, if you have to go out of a campaign and go back into it, like I did, it will be in there as a draft. It will show up under all campaigns. And this one is showing here as a draft because it has not been sent yet. So you can just select it, go to edit, and it'll take you right back into the screen you were at before. So we're going to go back in here to edit and work on our template some more. We are thinking. Okay, so this is just showing that all of this right here is placeholders. It's not good to go at this point, really. So at the top here where it's got Creative Assistant and logo, you can replace it and go into upload. Let me move my little window down here. So go to the top right corner here, go to upload. Anything that you upload into MailChimp as well will stay in their library. So you can shrink this down as much as you want. Make sure, always look for the save buttons. So we're going to save and close here. Make sure you select that. So there's little windows here around everything that's already built in. So you can add things in, you can take things out. I like to leave this header up there just because it's kind of one of the first things people will see when they come in. So you can go ahead and edit that. And that as well, you can select it, make it bold, change the font size, change the font type. You can make it into a different color, underline it. There's all sorts of fun things. You can also, you know, of course, like center it to a different side. The style here. There's all different sizes and styles here that you can use. different settings. If you wanted to have this as 2 columns instead of 1, you can edit that. But for the most part, I keep it pretty simple. Here you can bring in a photo. So if you have a photo of a product, you can drop it in here. You can drop in kind of a picture of, you know, welcome to, you know, my new service, my new, whatever it is that you happen to have. And when you, I'm going to go ahead and just pull this back in to show you something. You can also link it to a website, to an email address, or to a file. So if you wanted to have something that is downloadable, you can edit and add it in there as well. You can change the style, so you can actually have a border around it. You could put a color border around it. You can round out the corners of it. All sorts of good things here. If you wanted to have it aligned left instead of center, all the things. Checking the margins, and make sure you hit the save and close. So another little button here, it's editable. You can go in and erase it, put whatever you want in there. Again, you've got the same options here, style and settings. Save and close. Now, if I wanted to add, let's say I wanted to have this here and then also put in another image or just a group of images, you just grab it. So you select it over from the side and you just pull it over into it. And then upload an image. You can add another image in, so it could be framed as 3, or you can have it as 4, so you've got kind of what they call a gallery. So all sorts of fun things. And these can be linked as well to an image if you need to, say you go in here. Oh, so I'm not sure if I pointed this out. So the little arrow button here is to edit. If you wanted to duplicate it, copy what you did here down lower and kind of just edit a couple things, copy there. And if you need to delete it, you need to put the little trash can right here. And then it asks you, are you sure? And then in this section as well, let me show this. So right here in the text, you can also highlight something and click it into a link, so you can have it go to your website, all the things about pushing it somewhere else. Because once you get an email, you basically want to have them not hang out at the email or forget about it. You want to take them from your email to your site, to your website, to purchase, to schedule a call, to take some type of action, right? So there's all sorts of fun things. Let me pull this one out. And you can also bring in a video. So when you're editing the video, you would put the URL here. You can put some text underneath it as well. You can see this is shaded, so kind of give some information about what it is. So scrolling down, this little square right here that's editable is pretty important, because you want to have people give people an option to follow you somewhere: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, your website, all of the things where they can find out more, because they might be just in browse mode. They might be someone who's like, oh my gosh, I need to email them and ask them a question now. You want to have all those options easy to find so people don't get confused and people don't wander off and just leave you unopened and not coming back to you. You can add other links down here at the bottom. Right here it says add another service, so you can add directly going into the email. The X button will remove it. So if you don't have Twitter, you can take that out. Add in other services. So there's a drop down here to give you different options that will link them directly in and have the little icon at the bottom. So if it's Pinterest, you switch it, and then you see it brings it up right here. And you're going to put your personal link, because this one will take them just to the Pinterest page in general. You want to put your personal link. So go to your Pinterest or your email or your Instagram. Make sure you have the HTTP in there as the front half so that it'll go directly to your site. Otherwise, it goes just to the general page here for Pinterest. For this one's MailChimp here. So, okay. And then down here at the bottom, this is copyright information. So the way this gets pulled in is from whatever you entered in under your settings, your preferences, and your profile that we already did. So the copyright is going to default into, and this is in the footer, so this is stuff that's already built in. It'll give the current year, it'll give the name of the company that you put in, the description, our mailing address is ... And then every MailChimp email has to go out with this information on there about giving people an option to unsubscribe. So, of course, you know, there's all sorts of fun stuff going around about spam and spam emails and this and that. But if they've subscribed to your list, hopefully they're interested in what you have and what you're offering. But at any time they decide, you know, I'm just not into it, they have to have the option to unsubscribe. And MailChimp is a super big stickler about that. If you don't follow their rules, your account will get frozen and you won't be able to send out emails if you try to bypass those rules. So this background is all just gray and white, dark and white. So the way you can edit that is going into style here. So there's blocks here, which is where you pull in what you want in the email, image, text, buttons. You can put in, oh, I should have gone over the buttons. I like the buttons. So this is a button right here. So it says start shopping. So you can change what it says. Bye now. Web address, you can push it to an email address, a file, things like that. You would put in an address, a web address there, so that when they click it, it goes over to your website or over to your Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is you're asking them to do as far as an action. So you can close. Oh, sorry, let me go in here and let's say we want to make it, it's already blue, so let's make it yellow. So you just pick a color here. You know, there's a few ranges you can pick. Oh, that's a nice magenta color. You can pick the style. If you wanted to have the size a little larger, you can make it bigger. And then settings here, again, the same thing. Left, center, right, stuff. Center, okay, so for the style of the email itself, you're going to go under Style. You can go under Page, and here is what the defaults are for the heading. So there's all different line height, normal spacing, what the font type is. Sorry, let me go back into the header. So let's change this, and we'll make it green. So that's how you change just the header, and it'll stay that color. If you're building a template, we'll go into that on a different spot, but this is just for single email. You can make a template format where it's just always going to be your colors. So if it's black, white, pink, green, blue, all the good things, right? It doesn't go well with that. So make sure you save. So the rest of the page, excuse me, body, let's say you have, you know, one that you're doing, let's say it's for Christmas, and so you want the whole thing red for Christmas. It'll change the whole body. So that's for the body of the email. So this is the header, this is the body of the email, this is the footer. So whatever color you want that to be, you can swap it here under where it says body. And then going to save. So that's the body that we adjusted, the footer. If you want that to be a different color, you would swap that out here. All the text disappeared because the text was white. So all those good things. And another thing that's down here at the bottom is there's a referral badge. So if you don't have one of the upgraded accounts, if you have the free version, there will always be in the bottom of your email, it will say grow your business with MailChimp. There's the black version and then there's the white version, but it's included on all emails unless you pay to upgrade, just so you know. And what was the other thing? Oh, so you can also preview it. So let's say you've gone in, you've composed your email, you've added in everything you wanted to do. You can preview it just by going to preview and then click on enter preview mode. And it'll give you a couple different options. And this is extremely important, I believe, because the way the email looks when you click on it from a desktop can and will be different than what it looks like from a mobile device or a cell phone. So you want to check and make sure that whatever you've added in, all the graphics, you want to make sure it's not cut off, it's not like, you know, missing something, or maybe you can't see the whole graphic. So you can just go here and look at it before you're actually sending it out, desktop and mobile. And then you can just scroll down here and see, make sure, like if you had this centered left, it would look a little weird maybe. Just so that it's clear. A lot of people are viewing and working and doing all the things from their cell phone majority of the time now. So, you know, I would say focus more on what your mobile look is than anything else, because more often than not, people are checking from their cell phone. Okay, and then also you can send yourself a test email. So you can send it to a friend, you can send it to your mom, you can send it to somebody and say, hey, check my spelling, please, you know, just make sure this looks right. Send it to them so that they can view it and sign off on it and say, yeah, that's cool, looks great. And also so that you can see what it looks like when it pops up, and just make sure that you like how the whole thing syncs together, okay? So preview, this is where you would send the test email. And I haven't, I don't really mess with these too much. We'll get into that later on. So let's say we're good to go here. Sometimes this doesn't pop off right away. So we're going to go ahead and go to continue. There's still placeholder content. Yes, I know I didn't fill in all the blanks. So we're going to exit. And we'll pretend that we made everything look the way we wanted it to. Okay. So usually, let me add in a recipient here. Okay, so this is going back here to add in the audience. I'm going to add in a single contact. Can't speak today. All right. So you can add one singularly. If you are adding people in one at a time, make sure you click that this person gave me permission to email them. It's better to just import them as a CSV and do it all in one chunk so you don't accidentally type something wrong. But if you do have onesie twosies, you know, just make sure that you click that they did give you permission. All right, so let's go back into our campaign. So it's still in draft because we haven't sent it anywhere. So we're going to go back into edit. And it's going to all subscribers. And then we're going to go ahead and just take these out. Email, so it doesn't give us the little, hey, you didn't edit anything. Now, up at the top, and this is super handy, there's options to schedule. So you can click here and decide, hey, I'm going to send this at a specific time. So, oh, okay. So this one, under the free version, you have to upgrade to be able to schedule a specific time or date. So I guess I've been working in the ones that are upgraded for so long, I didn't even realize that. So if you want to say you're making an email at midnight and you don't want it to go out at midnight, you want it to go out the next day, you'd have to log in at 9 o'clock in the morning, whatever time, and push send here in order for it to go out. If you want to be able to schedule it, say for Sunday, and you don't want to go in and do it manually, you're going to have to upgrade to use that option. So what I'm going to do is just go up here and, because this is a test email, and push send. It's going to say, are you sure you're ready to send? Shows you here, you go to send now, and it's queuing it up to go out. And it says, hey, it's out there, okay? Tracking it, what you can do is you can go over here, back to campaigns, go to all campaigns, and let's see if it's showing. Yes, so right now it's showing that it is sending. Once it's sent, it's going to show sent, and then it'll show, if you have multiple subscribers, it'll show you that you've got an area of how many people opened it, how many people clicked, and it'll give you more data that you can track going forward. The good thing would be to do as well is to make sure each time you're sending an email, kind of use a reference point for yourself. So let's say it's a Halloween email and you wind up doing 2 or 3, do Halloween, and even though it'll show like what date you sent it out, let's say it's specific products you're trying to see or services that you're trying to see how popular they are, go ahead and include that in the name of the email itself, not on the side where the customer, the client's going to see it, but on your side, so you can go through and kind of see visually, because what happens is after you send out multiple, this will be kind of just rows where you can scroll up and down and see how well they've done, how many people opened, how many people clicked, how many people actually did a purchase or paid at some point. That's all trackable here as well. So it's good data, because then you'll know what people are interested in when they're opening, what works for the email, and also as you're making money or generating income from it, it'll track that so you can see, okay, I made $500 off of this email, but I made $1,000 off of this email, and you can differentiate and say, okay, was it the product, was it the service, was it the way I presented it, was it because there was a sale, things like that. So it's lots of good data. Lots of fun stuff. There's more in here on templates that I'm going to show you. I will do that on a separate one because this one turned out a little long in the tooth. And I want to do that kind of like broken up, but this is just the quick version of how to get an email out pretty quickly. Again, I will also show how to import a file of contacts from a CSV. I'm going to do that separate as well. Just so that, it can be kind of separated out. There's other options as far as making a website here. I was talking about that a little bit earlier. And there's just all sorts of fun stuff. And then, of course, the integrations, connecting it to, you don't want to have to constantly babysit your contacts as far as every time you get a new subscriber going in and having to do it manually. It's super time consuming. Forget things, it's easy to lose track of people or type something wrong, and it's just not the thing. So always integrate it and connect it to whatever source you have pulling it in from in the first place. But I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe. Leave me a message or a note if you have any questions. I hope this helped. Let me know where you're at and what's going on with your business. I just love helping businesses kind of, push the ball down the field a little bit further and accomplish more. So subscribe, share this with somebody that could use this as well. And I'll see you on the next video. Thanks. Bye.